Thank you for tuning in to Ryan's Real Estate Roundtable. This is episode number 3. I have Sean McNeil with Expect Pro here. We have the real professional on inspections here. He knows his stuff, guys. So this is going to be a great episode. Sean, tell us a little about yourself, and then we'll get started.
Thank you for having me today.
Yes, thank you. I know you're busy, so this is great.
No, thank you very much. We're a multi-firm inspection company. We're probably Central Florida's most popular multi-stage new construction inspection company. I'm a master inspector. I've walked and reported thousands of properties in Central Florida, not just for traditional inspections, but for other things as well.
You do commercial as well, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of commercial as well, too.
So he does everything.
I'd like to do commercial a lot, but I really enjoy the new construction. Like, that's just where it's at, and there's just a ton of it going on, and it's such a
And you know your stuff
market.
in new construction, which is a big thing.
It helps.
Yeah, it's big. So we're going to talk about how maybe new construction might go bad in the next episode. But okay, great. So so far we've met with Mike. We've gone over your pre-approval stage. We've met with Robin. She's gone over how your title and escrow and all that fun stuff works. And now we've gotten to our inspection stage. So typically you go out, you find a house with your agent, and then you go under contract, you do all your negotiating, your agent takes care of that, and then you have up to about 15 days. About standard is 10 inspection period days in Central Florida. So within that 10-day window, you can have Sean go out and inspect the home, and then if you find any issues with the home, then that's when I come back into play, and then we work out, any type of repairs, or if it's fine, then great news.
Which you do a great job of.
Yes, thank you, thank you. It's an art sometimes. Sometimes I have to be like, wow, I pulled that off.
Yeah, seriously.
Cool. So, yes, like I said, the 10-day inspection period is about standard. So let's say something bad happens. Let's say Sean finds, what's a typical deal killer for you?
Well, our company, we try to focus on insurable items, because they're very costly. The roof, the HVAC system, the electrical system, the plumbing system.
Major components.
Yeah, those are going to be the major things that you deal with. But for us, I think we find more issues with HVAC systems and roofs.
High price
more
ticket
than anything
items.
else, yeah.
Yeah.
HVAC systems are, what you breathe in your home, and the air quality is very, very important. So we hold that dear to our hearts, and we try to be as thorough as possible with inspecting these. And we kind of do an advanced inspection on them to make sure that it's healthy and providing you good air. But
and it's very thorough.
Those are usually the biggest issues that you'll find in the home that could be costly if you can't negotiate them.
Yeah.
But usually I feel, most of the time you'll find a common ground to get the issue resolved.
I'd say about 90% of the time, the seller and the buyer are able to come together and say, it needs a $12,000 roof. You give 6, I'll give 6. It just depends the scenario. Mm-hmm. Sometimes one party just might end up paying for it. Yeah. Or it might end up just getting replaced. So it just depends the item. But sometimes people don't agree. It happens, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
So that 10-day window there actually protects your escrow money. So any money that you put in that side account with the title company will then be refunded to you if you're within that inspection period. And it's due to an inspection item. So let's say the AC craps out and you have to shell out $8,000. You don't have that because you just spent closing costs. And you might have a seller who doesn't have the money to spend either. Sometimes they're willing to do it, they just don't have the means. Yeah. So that's another kind of, I would say, caveat within that 10% that I said. So in that scenario, you can walk and you can go find another property without any skin in the game other than your inspection. And it's worth it in spades because you would never want to buy something that is going to end up being like a money pit.
Absolutely not.
No. Worth it in spades. Okay, so let's go over kind of scheduling. Mm-hmm. So typically what I do for my clients is I call Sean. I actually call Jahan, who's his scheduler. And typically Sean can get out there in about 2 days.
Well, she's the everything.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. If you're watching this, Jahan, you're not just a scheduler. You are much more than that.
She's co-owner, and she runs everything.
Like, she is. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my bad. But in this scenario, she will set up for the agents. Mm-hmm. She'll do scheduling for Sean.
I try to get my hand in a little bit, because people have inspection questions that she can't answer all the time. But,
yes.
And
she's
it's
phenomenal.
Just as simple as a phone call and an email, and she knows exactly what you need and what she's doing. She'll get all your information thoroughly and leave all that guessing of information that you need out of there because she just gives it all to you.
It's great. She tells you what you need, you give it, and you're done. Mm-hmm. That's pretty efficient, and I love her. She's great.
Yeah,
so if you're watching this, you are a co-owner, not the scheduler.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. So then you'll get out to the property in a couple days, and then once you get there, usually the agent or you lets yourself in, and you do your thing. It takes about, on a standard house, a couple hours.
Yeah,
about 2 hours.
So it all depends on square footage.
Yes.
Really thorough inspection will easily take an hour and a half per 1,000 square feet.
Yeah, okay, that's a great guess there. So about that, and usually we let Sean do his thing, and then we meet up at the end. So you and I, if you're my buyer, you'll meet with me at the property. Let's say you're there at 9, we'll get there at like 11:30, meet up with you, you walk through the property. It is phenomenal walking through the property with Sean. He points everything out that you need to know, and you provide more value because you know things that I might not know. Like, this is how you run your electrical panel, or this is what you need to do. Us as agents, we're not trained on that, and we're not home inspectors, so that's your time to really find that valuable information and ask questions, because that's what Sean's here for.
Yeah, absolutely. And we love doing that. We love educating. We love teaching people about the components of the home. Sometimes there's specialty components that, even sometimes the sellers don't even know how to operate. So,
sometimes you ask the seller and they're like, I don't even know.
Yeah,
so especially, like certain eras. Like 70s homes have kind of funky things.
There is. I mean, I've seen so many things. I mean, we're always learning and seeing new things all the time, and that's what we try to do, to give you as much information as possible on maintenance tips and just everything that, of course, that we find that could be issues with the home. But we really strive to give it as a great summary when you do come to inspection. And some people want to be there in the beginning, and that's fine. I mean, I get clients that follow me around the whole entire time, and they learn a lot.
Yeah, they do.
But we just try to teach as much as we can about that home at the end of the inspection, because we don't want to leave guessing. The report's one thing, but verbally communicating to it is very important with us. So we make a strived effort to give every client a verbal communication and not just a report on their property, especially for clients that even can't be there. So, we specialize in out-of-town clientele. We include a ton of video in our reports.
Oh, their reports are great.
And, so that gives an opportunity for people that are out of town that sometimes only saw the property at night once or never even saw the property at all. We try to give them a great story with the videos in the report to show exactly what's going on with the home.
That's
and then,
great.
Of course, I'll follow up with a verbal communication as well.
That's phenomenal. Because, a report can be kind of scary.
Oh, they are.
If you just sit there and look at the report, it's kind of like if you go to the doctor and he tells you, if you keep doing this, you're going to die. Yeah. So it's kind of like looking at the report. So it's great to have the true professional to explain it.
And our reports do look like nightmares, but it can be very large report, but it's for your benefit, especially for leverage if you need it.
Yes, because, and I'm glad you brought that up, that plays a big component, because a lot of the times as an agent, you have to prove to the other side, well, this is the report, this is what's wrong with the property, it's in black and white. So a lot of the times that helps us as a negotiating tool to help get you more money. And if you're a seller, we'll go over kind of some keys to dodge that bullet. So I also have something that my sellers do to avoid the agent on the other side coming back with that report saying, oh, now we want money. You can kind of stay ahead of it, because it's always good to stay ahead of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll come back to the seller side, but right now I'm just going to go, we kind of went over the report. The report's, a typical report's,
they vary.
Yeah, I can't really say a typical report because I'm thinking about
sometimes they're 45 pages, sometimes they're 210 pages.
It just depends the house
on how much information that we can provide on that particular home.
Yeah,
a condo is like going to be something very small, and
because you don't have as much exterior.
But sometimes we do mansions, we do commercial properties, so in estates and golf courses. And
that's a big report.
Yeah, sometimes they take more than a day to prepare as well. So it's a lot.
I know. Yeah. Even the smaller homes, they have a detail, but you want details. You want to know. You don't want to pay someone to just tell you your house is good to go. So that's good. So there are different types of home inspections, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's tons. I mean, there's so many different types.
So for a standard home, we're looking at probably just the home inspection. If it has a pool, having a pool inspection.
Absolutely.
And then a wind mitigation report, inspection.
Every home will need that.
Every single home. You're a fool if you don't do a wind mitigation report, because it saves you tons of money on your homeowner's insurance. And wind mitigation.
And they will ask for it. The insurance provider will always ask for it.
And I'm pretty sure there's some that will require
Well, yeah. Every insurance company asks, especially at closing, because you want to know your insurance rate on top of your mortgage as well. So it's an important document to have, so you know what rate you're locked in at with your insurance provider.
Yes,
so,
it's important.
And every insurance company will ask for it. So that's why, especially with our company, we don't upsell the wind mitigation. It's included with every inspection. So because we know you're going to need it, and a lot of companies will try and upsell you on it, but it's something that you need, just like you need the home inspection report.
Yeah.
So I never understood of
why
trying
leave
to
them out.
Charge more for something that they already need.
Yeah.
For us, it's just a part of the process of the home inspection. We're gonna get all your wind mitigation information as well to provide that at the same time we provide the report.
Yeah, because they're coming to you as a professional and they don't know.
Yeah.
And it's us, the agents, who set it up, and there are some agents who don't know either.
Yeah.
So it's important to have an agent who really understands the process.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So, and to kind of backtrack a little, wind mitigation is your home, your roof inspection. So
it's the roof and wall attachment. And the main thing they're looking for is the permit. That's
the permitting.
Yeah, that's going to give you your most credits for your insurance, because these wind mitigations are designed to give you discounts on your insurance.
Yes.
So if you're in a high velocity zone, like if you're on the coast, wind mitigations will save you thousands.
Oh yeah, big time.
Here in Orlando, we're not really in a high velocity zone. It will save you money, but not as much as it would over there. And on the coast, you're talking, window opening protection, and
they have a lot extra.
Yeah, a lot of extra stuff. We don't have much of that in Orlando. Some homes do have hurricane protection openings, like shutters and stuff like that.
Yep.
And if you have those in Orlando, oh my goodness, you're going to get amazing savings.
Oh yeah.
But the insurance company just really wants to see the last issued permit. That's the biggest credit. And then they want to know the nail spacing, which we have special devices to detect in the framing of how many nails that they nailed into the deck.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you want an inspector with those toys, because they can really see a lot.
And then it's just about the roof-to-wall attachment, and that'll be based on the type of structure that your home is. So we just document that. The house already has what it has, and we just document that, and insurance companies usually give a nice little savings and credit off that from having that wind mitigation.
Yep, they always. Everyone always ends up getting some type of savings from it. Absolutely. Well, that's great. So we went over the different types of inspections, what the report looks like. Now we can probably move on to the seller side of home inspections.
Sure, do it.
So I approach my sellers in a manner of the buyer's agent, because I'm going to have to defend them against the buyers. So it's good to kind of be ahead of it and get the home inspected prior to listing. So before you go on the market, having Sean and his team go out there and do a thorough inspection of the home, just so we know, let's say your roof's about to go bad. Well, that's a big deal. That takes a month if you want to replace the roof, at least a month. So, and it depends if everyone else is doing it at the same time. It could be a hassle. But you want to know that before you list, because you don't want to be under contract and then have to make a bunch of repairs that can either jeopardize, what your end goal is. Because a lot of people, when I meet them for listings, they have a certain number at the end that they need to walk away with.
Absolutely.
And if that number is tight and you have a home inspection that has a lot of ticket items on it that you might be able to knock off pretty cheap, if you get a handyman or someone to come in and just get it taken care of, a couple grand sometimes, usually you can get a lot of things done with a couple thousand.
Yep.
But if a couple thousand in a buyer's eye is more of like 5 or 6, because they have to do it. So it's cheaper in the long run as well to do a pre-home inspection. And I'll let Sean talk about it and go over what they do.
Pre-sale inspections are an interesting concept to some markets, It's actually taking off in some other areas in the world. And in some areas in the world, it's by mandatory law that you have to have a third-party inspection when you sell your home. We just don't do that in our market traditionally.
I think it should be.
There's some inspectors that think that the process is backwards, I'm not particularly one of those. I think it depends on the type of market you're experiencing at the time.
True.
But it can benefit, because this is something I was just talking about yesterday with someone. When a seller is going to sell, they're nervous. They're nervous, especially for an experienced inspector like me to come in their home. Yeah. Because they're scared to death to figure out what I'm going to find.
Oh, yeah.
And so if they have someone like me come in to alleviate that stress and pressure, you would be amazed at the relief off their shoulders when we tell them, like, hey, this is the issue. Okay. Now as well, you have time to get your own estimates of your own contractors, rather than relying on the buyer bringing in some high-priced Uncle John.
Someone they called off Google the first click.
Yeah, or
that's usually how it works.
Or a family member that's a contractor, and they come in and they just like, oh, well, you got to do all of this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It turns into a dramatic mess.
It does. So, and to be frank, I mean, you know, there's likely equity in the home, right?
Yep.
So if you get a pre-listing inspection, you're protecting that. You're protecting that a little bit because you're not going to negotiate as much off the price when you already know the issues with the home. Okay?
Yeah.
And having a pre-listing inspection, that unfortunately may also intimidate the buyer's inspector a little bit. You know.
Yeah. No,
he's going to try to be a lot more thorough. I mean, he's going to try and really nitpick the house apart.
Yeah.
But you're already going to be there with a qualified master inspector that has a documented report that shows all the issues that you were doing your due diligence to find before someone came and purchased your
home. And that's
home.
the main word is due diligence.
Yeah, it is. And I hate it when it gets in the battle of the negotiation.
I know.
Like, it can be very transparent and very easy process.
Yeah, it absolutely can.
I feel that pre-listing inspections can really help that process.
Yep.
Because sometimes, I mean, I'm sure if you think back to some files. You're
just gosh, I know. The things people fight over. The petty things on top of that. Things that you could just get out of the way. Like outlet covers or something.
We actually have a program for people that list, for listing agents. There's programs out there that can actually get you leads to have
fabulous.
potential buyers to the property.
Oh.
We can take that report and put it online. Actually,
I just learned that today. See, I've worked with Sean for.
So there's a lot of benefits, and when we do a pre-listing inspection, that home is warranted for 120 days.
Yes.
Just like we have warranties with our home inspection now. There's a 5-year roof leak protection. There's a 100-day warranty on mechanical and structural issues. But with the pre-sale inspection, it's 120 days, and that's from the day of the inspection. And let's say you close in 30, the remainder of that warranty goes to your buyer. So
that's nice, transferable.
Exactly. So if that's that should make a home more valuable, in my opinion. Like this is a pre-inspected, warranted home. It's almost, I don't want to use like car sales, but people want a pre-certified owned car.
Exactly.
Why should we not want that? With
same application. Well? It's just a different product.
It really is, and a more expensive product than
a much more expensive.
So,
it's much more important to do it that way. Absolutely. If you're spending that much money.
So I believe in it, and I think if done correctly, it can be done for most listings. Because every situation is not going to be great for this, because you're going to have older homes that everything does need to be done, and then you're just giving them a book of disclosures.
Well, also it helps the buyer, because let's say, because I like to approach my listings in the buyer's eyes, and I think that's what helps it sell the quickest, is because those are the people who are paying the money. So if you go to the buyer's agent and say, well, while you're negotiating the offer, you don't have to worry about a new roof, you don't have to worry about AC, you don't have to worry about this. Give me your best offer. That helps the buyer understand what they're going into, and then it helps the seller. There's no surprises. The buyer doesn't have to say, well, I don't have the cash. I already gave up all my money when I negotiated the price. So now you have that skin in the game to say, here, I had an inspection already. You don't need to worry about it. I mean, they can get their own inspection, but at least it's already done.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with having the pre-sale inspection and then a buyer's inspection as well. I mean,
some people just got to do it for themselves, and I get that.
And they absolutely should.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great thing that can happen in the market if done correctly.
Yes.
But it, in my opinion, it takes a program to do it right. But just from what I've seen doing it myself, I mean, the relief I get to see sellers take off their shoulders when we sit them down, instead of just like, hey, we inspect your house, here's a report. When we sit them down and actually consult with them, it's a different animal. This is not just like going in doing a buyer inspection. Like, hey,
here's your
found
report.
this, and that. It's not like that. It's like, okay, well, here's the issues, and here's what you can easily correct, and here's what you might want to maybe negotiate your price point
as
when a buyer comes in.
You're sitting there as the professional saying.
It just makes it so much easier. I mean, it just really does.
It does, and for everyone, for sure. Well, Sean, that ends our episode. That's all we have for today.
So much.
I appreciate you. Thanks again. And again, this is Sean with Expect Pro, so he'll be taking care of
all your real estate needs, because he is.
And if you hire me, you get Sean. So it's like a 2-for-1. It's like a sale.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, guys.